Fortress of Dreams.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 9th episode of Northeast Ohio Sports Show with me, Liam, and my cousin Hunter.
We made it this far.
I'm going to try to update sports real quick for everyone. Scores below us, just in case anything updated.
A big Cavs game tonight. This is make or break here.
And there's the NHL scores. Okay. So, the Cavs are up by 10 points right now. After the first, they were tied. I think like 38-38, and maybe they're going on a good run right now, a 10-0 run. But we'll be talking about the Cavs in a little bit. I'm going to have the Cavs game actually on my iPad. If you guys have any comments or anything, please drop them. But I might be a little bit sporadic on that because we're going to be looking at the docket.
Tell us how you would protect a 7-point lead with 40 seconds left.
That would be nice. That could be our first topic real quick about the Cavs game and them blowing that lead. They did have people injured. They had Mobley injured, Darius Garland, I think a couple more guys. But those were our big names that were injured.
Yeah, and it's really tough to get any separation without your stars in, but still, they came out of this game firing. I mean, this was really started out really hot, and then just slowly Indiana starts chipping away at this lead, and like I said, 7-point lead with 40 seconds left. You can't be blowing that.
No, you cannot.
Can't blow those. Especially now you're down 0-2 on the road. If you lose tonight, winning 4 straight games, especially in the condition these players are in, not likely.
Yeah, we're getting some injuries here, which is bad. It's going to be hard on Mitchell too, carrying a lot of load, but hopefully they can come back and.
The longer you go in the playoffs, the more beat up you're gonna get.
Yeah, true.
How about those Knicks?
And like Shannon would say, and all these sports guys would say, LeBron, if you go in kind of hurt, you're gonna go out. You're gonna stay hurt or get hurt. Same with like any other sports, especially NFL players. But NBA, they're so active. We're now up by 13. They're up 51 to 38. Seems like we're doing well. Garland's back in. Mobley's in. Mitchell's in. I don't know if that's it. We still have Jared Allen in. But I don't think we have Okoro in. So he still might be hurt. But I'll have to look online for that. It seems like Max Strus is playing number 1. Shooting a 3. Misses. Typical. Us white men can't really make threes too well, so it happens.
White man can jump, though.
They can. It was in the movie. Woody Allen did it. Or was it Woody Harrelson? My bad. Some good defense. We'll go into a quick funny topic I wanted to talk about last week, but Hunter's here, so we'll talk about it now. Did you? It's about the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit, but I wanted to see, Hunter, did you hear the audio?
I've heard one bit of audio. The initial phone call that released, I can't bring myself to listen to anymore.
Well, I thought that was it. That's all I heard, unless there's more out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more on like Twitter because of the lawsuit.
If there's only one audio leak, then I definitely heard it.
Yeah, he wasn't sounding too nice. So I didn't know if he left ESPN after that or before, but if that was after, it makes a lot of sense. Or if maybe it was before, maybe. Okay, yeah.
Text messages, holding strong. Audio. Oh, there's no coming back from that.
Oh, my fat cat. No, there isn't, bro. And especially like he released only her messages, which kind of made her look bad. But then her lawyer released his messages, and it kind of showed that he was freaky while he was basically, being, in my opinion, as much as a freak as her, especially at his age, bro. But
that man is never gonna touch the light of day of an ESPN camera ever.
Nope, again. not with Disney owning them. They like to be squeaky clean. So basically, what's happening is Shannon Sharpe had a relationship with this like OnlyFans girl. I think when she started to be 19. I think she's 20 now, so it's been about a year, maybe 2. And I think it said like they had sex like 300 times, and she's suing him for unconsensual sex. This isn't a news show, so we won't go too deep about how that stuff works, but I mean, it could happen. Like, even if you're dating like a freak or a BDSM girl, what they call them nowadays, um, she could relieve consent, and if you don't stop, that's still an issue. But there's a lot of issues with this kind of stuff, so I'm not too read up on the lawsuit itself or the specifics about it. But um, basically, like me and Hunter said, and I kind of said last week and the week before, um, he stepped down from ESPN. And now he said he's taking a break. He was going to be off for a little bit, and now he said like he'll come back in a couple months. I mean, we'll see about that. Probably not. He probably get this big fired. So I like Sandstrop a lot, but he kind of always had women issues because even back in the day, he had some lawsuits with women. So it happens. But if it keeps happening, that's kind of bad. And like people are saying now, and like there was clips from people on this podcast telling him he needs to date women his age and stop dating these younger women. And it's kind of true. Like if you're 60 and you're dating a 20-year-old, kind of shows mental instabilities on both ends. And then when both people are mentally unstable, shit's gonna happen. So that's not always the best. And it needs to be smarter than that. Maybe hunker down. But it's that money lifestyle for a lot of these guys. They don't get out of it, or once they get money again when they're older, they think like getting married, they'll lose money. But I bet they'll lose a lot more money just going after girls. So
Lines them.
we'll go over real quick. You can see below the F1 standings after Miami. Oscar Piastri is in the lead with 131 points. Lando's in second with 115, so 16 points ahead. Max Verstappen is in third with 99. George Russell has 93 in fourth. Charles Leclerc has 53 at fifth. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who got sprint pole last week and got the youngest ever F1 player racer to get a pole at 18 for Mercedes. He's Italian. That was really cool to see. He's at 6 with 48 points. Lewis Hamilton, 7th place with 41. Ferrari's a little bit behind because of those DQs. And we got Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda. Still got some guys doing bad. At 0 points, still Alonso, Liam Lawson, Jack Doohan, Gabriel Bortoleto. Jack Doohan got replaced this week by Colapinto, who will race for them now, Alpine. Then for constructors, at number 1, we got McLaren with 246 points, Mercedes at 2 with 141, Red Bull at 3 with 105, Ferrari at 4 with 94. I really hope Ferrari comes back this, probably the rest of the seasons. We've Italian Grand Prix in 2 weeks at the Ferrari racetrack. It's not really Monza, so for Monza's Italian Grand Prix, this is like the Enzo Ferrari Grand Prix. That'll be Imola. It's a racetrack called, really good one of my favorites. They should do well. Week 1, Ferrari got 5 points, so that really screwed them. Williams at 5th, Haas at 6, Aston Martin at 7, Racing Bulls at 8, Alpine at 9, Sauber at 10. Williams is doing pretty well, and so is Haas. Aston Martin's doing really bad. For Miami Grand Prix last week, Oscar won. Then we got Lando at 2nd. With his fastest laps, there was some issues with the team and like passing on both with McLaren and Ferrari last week, so that was fun. George Russell 3rd for Mercedes. Max Verstappen got 4th, so a bad week for him. Like to see that. Alex Albon for Williams got 5th. That was awesome to see. Kimi Antonelli at 6th. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz for Williams got 9th. Yuki Tsunoda 10 for Red Bull. So Yuki's doing pretty good, doing way better than the other driver. For NASCAR, I'm going to have to look on my phone real quick for what was last week. It was at the Texas Motor Speedway. For Roof 400, Joey Logano won. Ford 22, Ross Chastain got 2nd. Ryan Blaney, who we like from Ohio, Ford number 12, got 3rd. Kyle Larson, Jones, 5th. Stenhouse Jr., Dillon, Nemchek, Bell, Suarez. The next NASCAR race is this weekend. It's the Advert Health 400 at the Kansas Speedway. Hook 'em horns.
So, Did you hear Antonio Brown officially applied to be a NASCAR driver?
Oh God, no, that's crazy. What year is it?
I don't know. What kind of sponsorships you think are going on Antonio Brown's car?
Cracker, the Cracker Awards, isn't that what he called them?
His CTESPN.
And didn't he have like a Cracker Award?
Cracker of the Year award.
Yep, I need to get that one year. All right. For IndyCar last week, for Children's Grand Prix at Alabama, I would see him race for Indy 500, even though he probably can't drive. Antonio Brown, he probably
That
hasn't driven in a
CTE,
minute.
he's not going to check his blind spot.
Yeah, race car drivers already have CTE, so too it kind of works for them because all the crashes give them CTE. Because you hit your head.
Could it get any worse?
Let's find
A lot
out.
of people.
Just him going in a wall got 200 miles per hour. He's the same dude. What if we got smarter?
Well, at least NASCAR's viewership would be up.
Maybe. A lot of people would probably get mad. So for Indy last week in Alabama, Alex Palou got first, who won last year the championship. Christian Leningad, who's an Arrow McLaren driver, pretty young, he got second. I think he used to be an F1 driver, maybe younger. Scott McLean got third. YSVK got fourth. Will Power got fifth. Pato O'Ward, who I like, got sixth. He's an McLaren Arrow driver. Colton Herter for, what's it called? Andretti Motorsports got seventh. Alexander Rossi got eighth. Nolan Siegel, Arrow McLaren driver, ninth. Joseph Newgarden, 10. Kyle Kirkwood, Scott Dixon, Felix Rosenquist, Graham Ray Hall, Christian Romjan. For next race, for Indy's actually next week, or this coming weekend, May 10th. Sono's Grand Prix at 4:30. It's taking place. Yeah, so it's the front site of the Indy Motor Speedway. So they kind of do the short track at Indy. Be the short track at Indy because the race after that, which I'll be at, is for Indy 500. So that makes sense. They do it back to back, so they don't have to move that much. But so in 19 hours, they'll be getting ready for that. What's next on our docket here, isn't it? NHL? Yeah, playoff hockey.
Playoff hockey.
Go over the new bracket now, Kurt. Set. We're in the second round.
I'm gonna pull up this new bracket. Panthers just scored on the Maple Leafs. If you're following, they desperately need this game. They are down 2-0.
Cavs are pulling off too. Cavs are up by 17 now.
Pulling up this bracket, the one on the docket, a little blurry. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Google for this one. All right. Like I said, Maple Leafs up 2-0 on the Panthers, and could still take this game to go up 3-0. I'd be shocked if the Panthers got eliminated this early. But good for Maple Leafs fans. I know that. I think they're really starving here for a cup. Next, yesterday, the Caps tied Carolina. I believe they play tomorrow. That one is tied 1-1. Edmonton taking a 2-0 lead against the Las Vegas Knights. They have not lost a game since going down 2-0 against the LA Kings last round.
Wow.
And Dallas up 1-0 on Winnipeg. They play tomorrow. So, really, Winnipeg and Dallas, the only teams that had to go to 7 games. Vegas easily handled Minnesota. Edmonton, after being down 2-0, have now won 6 straight hockey games. They beat the Kings. Carolina and Washington, easily handled their opponents, Montreal and New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And then in the Battle of Florida, the Panthers, it wasn't even close. And then, of course, Toronto beat Ottawa after, I believe they were up 3-0. Ottawa came back 2 games to make it 3-2, and thankfully Maple Leafs able to close this one out. But
that's
getting
awesome.
Into the thick of it of the second round here. So,
and I think you meant they were up 2-0, not up 3-0. I think the Maple Leafs Senators, yeah. Or do you mean like
I might have that wrong. I don't know if they were up 2-0 and Ottawa came back to tie it 2-2 or if it was 3-0.
Like goals of a series.
The series.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Toronto was up 3-0. Ottawa comes back, beats them in overtime, then shuts them out, and then Maple Leafs able to win 4-2 in that last game when they were up 3-2.
That's crazy. Awesome, good covering that.
There was a statistic there that they have only won 2 elimination games in the past 5 years. So they heavily struggle to close out these games.
Good stat, thank you. And then the next one too, you'll be covering as well. We're starting off with was Browns draft night because you weren't here last week to cover.
It has been a while since draft night. I know it has been a while, but
I can go over picks real quick if you want, unless you want to, because I think we could see them right here too.
You can go through the picks. There's only a few that I not remember in here, but liked a lot of moves. Thought a lot of them were very confusing, but loaded a lot of rooms that were in desperate need.
So we got Mason Graham, round 1, number 5. D-tackle. Actually, I went over it last week. D-tackle from Michigan. Number 2. How do you say this guy's last name? Charles Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger. I honestly have no idea.
UCLA linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
And we got Todd Junkins, who I know you like a lot. I'm hyped for him, too.
I was very happy about this pick.
Yeah, I always like getting Ohio State guys. Yeah, true, especially today. We'll talk about that after the draft stuff. Then we got that tight end from Bowling Green. Dillon Gabriel, which is going to be a useless pick. Quarterback from Oregon. Dylan Sampson, good pick. And then Shedeur Sanders with round 5 pick. The only reason why I think Dillon Gabriel is going to be useless is because of Shedeur Sanders. Now, he might be a good backup in the future.
It's a very confusing draft in that aspect, especially considering after we drafted Dillon Gabriel, it was reported Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, and Jimmy Haslam went to Eugene, Oregon to do many private workouts with him.
Wow.
They were very impressed by him. So that was their guy. And then, of course, we all know the big fall that Shedeur took, considering that at worst people were saying second round. But I guess for the pick that he was picked at, it's very low risk, high reward. Especially the videos coming out of rookie minicamp today. A lot of people excited. I think I thought it was a good draft. There were a few moves I don't agree with. They were kind of confusing. But I think you loaded up a lot of high needs while also looking towards next year's draft, which I know it's early, but is considered to be very quarterback heavy.
Yeah, but does that always mean they're going to be good?
Oh, no. It's no guarantee that any of these guys picked this year are going to be good.
No, I agree. But I think Sanders have talent. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Especially with these running backs.
High ceiling.
These running backs have a high ceiling, too. That's what I'm excited for.
We ended up getting the 2 running backs that I wanted very badly. I don't know how we pulled it off. Obviously, if you weren't going to get Ashton Genty, there was so much talent in the running back room for this draft. And somehow, I think 2 of the top 4 running backs in this draft somehow fell to us, especially Dylan Sampson. He's only 20 years old.
That's crazy, yeah. Especially if they have him behind Junkins for a bit. Gets a little bit older, probably a little stronger, smarter. We're set. That's crazy. Is Sampson more of a running? Is he more of a elusive back, or is he a power back?
He is very good at running in between the tackles. I would say he's kind of a hybrid between a power, and he has a lot of speed.
That's good.
SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Wow. That's awesome. Round 4.
We got the SEC, Big Ten, and Big 12 Offensive Players of the Years all in one draft.
Who's the Big 12? Dylan Gabriel.
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, I forgot.
And
Big 12.
Oregon, yeah, all these conferences keep going where,
The money's
for some
at
reason
the Big
Oregon's
Ten.
in the Big Ten. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Okay, I like it. Did Sanders participate in practice today, rookie?
Yes, he did. All the rookies, to my knowledge, were
Nice.
able to participate today. Nobody's sitting out. Media availability for Gabriel and Sanders, so the first time we'll hear from both of them will be tomorrow.
Awesome. Good news. Good news. For grades, we got a B plus for day 1. Day 2, we got a B plus, and day 3, we got an A from ESPN. So a good draft, I say.
Yeah.
And we didn't get Travis Hunter.
I understand the frustration with day 1 trading back when obviously Travis Hunter has the potential to be a guy that we haven't seen in the NFL really in generations, a guy who is going to excel in offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
I do see the intrigue of not only getting 2 picks for next year, but you didn't have to trade back that far to get a desperately needed guy in the interior. I mean, if you watch our defense last year, that was a big reason why teams were just running all over us. We need to be able to clog up, between the tackles, need to be able to hold up. Not a huge fan of picking people from Michigan, especially through the Harbaugh era, but I think Mason Graham's got the potential to be a good franchise D tackle, and that'll benefit Miles and everybody else on that D line.
Agreed. And real quick, Guardians are up 4-0 in the 6, and the Cavs are up by 21, and they have 35 rebounds. The Pacers have 17, so they're really playing a lot, playing hard to get this game. Rebounding their asses off this first half, so hopefully they can finish it off too. But going back to football, I agree, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome.
Round 1, not Browns related, but very, very confused by the Giants trading back up in to get Jackson Dart in the first round. Either they had some crazy intel that he wasn't going to be there the next time they picked, or somebody in that war room got real sweaty thinking they don't want 17 games of Russell Wilson, so they went up and got Jackson Dart.
Who did he play for?
Ole Miss.
That's what I was about to say. I was thinking. All right.
And I like the round 2 picks. Have no idea who Carson Schlesinger is. No idea before we picked him. No idea after. But I guess cool story. A guy, no stars coming out of high school, is now the first pick in the 2nd round. And an impressive linebacker. Didn't hear about him a lot throughout college, but I guess linebackers rarely do get that kind of recognition nowadays.
Yeah, no, true. They're not really that star players, but they help out a lot on defense with actually getting it done. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm hyped. He seems like a good player.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
You don't know what's going to happen to JOK. I certainly think he will not see the field this season. Going into the offseason, it was always kind of a, this year recovery and then see if he can play alongside Schlesinger now next year.
Mm-hmm.
But make him he's participating in some of these off-season workouts, so that is at least a good sign.
That is. Let me pull up something real quick.
And of course, pick 36 from Jacksonville to get Quinshon Judkins. I wanted one of those Ohio State running backs, and I think they got the better of the two here. An elite runner. Needs to work on his speed a little bit, but I think he is going to be a workhorse, dominant at the next level. I love Quinshon Judkins.
Agreed. Especially seeing what he could do at Ohio State. It'll be awesome to see what he could do.
Ohio State's just been a running back factory.
They have been. Now it's the end of the 6 for the Guardians. I wanted to go over our next topic, unless you want to go give a little bit more draft input.
I'll just go down the line here for the rest of these picks. Harold Fannin, very good pick. I like loading up the tight end room. Going back to Stefanski's offense, you're going to need more than one tight end. I kind of felt like he fell under the radar because, I mean, playing for Bowling Green in the MAC. But I love that pick. Of course, Dylan Gabriel in round 3. You thought that was the only quarterback we would take. You were wrong.
But you also said a tight end was a transfer before we got to...
He was a transfer. I forget from what school, but he dominated in the MAC. And, of course, they played some Division I opponents like Penn State and another Big Ten school where he was very impressive.
He was some bigger schools, so it was interesting. But go on about Gabriel.
Yeah. I like the pick. I think Gabriel fits the criteria of what Stefanski's looking for in a quarterback. He said, win with good decision making, accuracy, and arm strength. I think Gabriel is just missing the height aspect of that. And then Dylan Sampson, one of my favorite running backs last year. How he fell to the 4th round is beyond me. And of course, why not let it fly on Shedeur Sanders? Why not?
I agree.
Worst case scenario, he's a 5th round pick. He's the most bought jersey of any rookie, beating out his Colorado teammate Travis Hunter and Cam Ward. So very impressive there.
That's crazy. Even a first overall pick, so that shows how it is. Makes money. He has a name, but also
perfect.
If he works out and we actually don't need to get a guy next year, or we even maybe still get a guy and maybe could trade him, one of these guys. I think it kind of repairs a lot of the bad stuff the Browns have done, quarterback-wise.
If Sanders works out and you have 2 first-rounders next year, I think you have officially opened your Super Bowl window back up and recovered from this Watson debacle. But I'm not going to get too optimistic too early, but that would be awesome.
Yeah. For sure, we can get some left tackles, some guys we actually need. Because we didn't beef up the O-line that much, which we needed to do. Maybe get a wide
one of the
receiver,
worst offensive lines from last year did not get any additions.
Even on the offseason so far?
We got a few guys that I believe would be good pieces in case of injury or some sort of rotation, but nothing really. I mean,
no stars.
The people we had in there last year are going to start again. Conklin at right tackle, Antonio, Teller, Posick, and DeJuan Jones.
Wow. Thank God we got you for these sports, but that's good to know. Then we got to go over Nick Chubb real quick, Hunter, because today, what happened today?
It's a very sad day. Andrew Berry on 92.3 The Fan, whatever the Fan radio show was on. Nick Chubb not expected to re-sign with the Browns. I think getting Sampson later in the draft was kind of the nail in the coffin. Also, something that happened that kind of fell under the radar. Jerome Ford was going to be traded to potentially make room for that re-signing, and he restructured his contract in order to stay. That kind of fell under the radar there, but
and it makes sense. But it's kind of crazy. We should have kept Chubb over Ford, but maybe he don't want that. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope wherever he ends up that he recovers from this injury and just shows he's still got it.
Agreed. Yeah. So us wrong because I loved him. He was a good player. All of his injuries and heart for the team was nice. So it sucks. Just typical Brown stuff. We're used to it at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That's full screen. So our next topic is the next F1 Grand Prix, which I talked a little bit about earlier. The Imola Grand Prix in Italy. Oh, man. Is this... One second. Laptop's being slow. There we go, buddy. Let me move this over real quick. Oh man, I hate Mac.
This lapse in internet is brought to you by Cox Internet. God, I hope they don't hear that.
Yeah, what if we get some money taken away? They know.
Get my good court suit on for this one.
All right, so here's a racetrack. This is from ESPN. Speaking about getting sued, it's via Enzo E. Dino Ferrari, Enzo and his wife, Ferrari's creator, racetrack in Rome, Italy. That's awesome. The circuit length is almost 4.9 kilometers, 63 laps, 17 turns, counterclockwise, old school stuff. It's a track from 1953. One DRS zone. Over here is for pit. They will start here and go this way. First turn's pretty epic. There's a lot of turns and a lot of elevation on this track. This is a track that Ayrton Senna died in I believe 92, 22 years ago. It should be fun. Starts in 6 days. No sprint like last weekend, just for race, which will be at 9 a.m. on Sunday, American time. So that'll be fun. Our next topic now are the Cavs, which we kind of covered a little bit. They're playing right now. They're up 66 to 45 still. Wait, let me make sure this is live. Yeah,
What's crazy is the Celtics are down 2-0 against the Knicks right now, and I just know Side Talk is going crazy.
Yep. I'm hyped for it. Let's bring the Knicks, make the Knicks great again. The only thing I could agree with on that one. So that'll be interesting. Also in the playoffs, let's see. Yeah, the Celtics beat the Magic. Knicks beat the Pistons 4-2. Boston won 4-0. Thunder beat the Grizzlies. Nuggets beat the Clippers. Rockets lost to the Warriors. Yep. And they're playing the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves, yeah, did beat the Lakers. LeBron was out. Kind of like me and Hunter were talking about earlier. Once Shannon Sharp goes down, the Lakers go down. He was talking about glazing and how Shannon can't help the Lakers anymore with a glaze. Just the amount of glaze that was happening. It is. Like if he or Shannon was giving them. You're not wrong there, Hunter. You're not wrong.
Also, tidbit about the NBA playoffs right now. Randy Orton has dubbed Anthony Edwards the Legend Killer. See how that goes for him.
That's crazy. Randy Orton, RKO, huh?
Anthony Edwards RKOing these legends.
Also, Panthers are up 4-3 for Maple Leafs. Jets and Stars are playing later.
Sorry, Leafs fans.
Top of 7th. 2 on for the Guardians Phillies. Cavs are still up by 21. They haven't scored in a minute. And neither are Pacers. They're playing pretty good defense. Cavs are. Any other Cavs opinions before we end the night, Hunter?
Unless you have something falling off the bone, please go out there and play.
Nice. Yeah, we just made a free. 69 to 45.
Due to injuries. And I know basketball is not necessarily a game where things are going to heal the more you play. But every team's got their championship window. You can't just waste opportunities in the playoffs. If you could play, you got to go out there and do it. Yeah,
Mitchell just missed a free, but they're playing hard. They're playing good defense. They're going after the ball, it looks like. You'll probably watch after. But right now it's 60. Oh, yeah. We're only up by 20 now. It's 69 to 49. But still a good lead. Mitchell missed a free. But we got Garland going in. And his short ass can't make anything under the hoop because he's short and they got tall people under the hoop. So he gives it to Allen, and Allen dunks it in. So that's fun, and we get a steal. If that's it for the rest of the night, Coach, you don't have any other Cavs takes? Do you think they're going to win the series and come back?
I sure hope so. I think they can go 4 straight. Side note, NFL schedule release, Wednesday, May 14th. That is coming on up.
Moving on over. No, I agree.
So we'll find out who the first game of the year is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be in Philadelphia for the banner raising, but who will face? And then just a quick overview of the Browns' opponents, because we've known for a couple of months who they're going to face exactly. Obviously, home and away, usual suspects: Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the remainder of this home schedule. The Buffalo Bills, the San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings, Dolphins, Packers, Titans.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 3 playoff teams, and then a couple of teams like the Dolphins and Niners who have typically made it over the past couple of years. Your away schedule is going to be Chicago, Detroit, Vegas, New England, and the Jets.
Nice.
And based off of last year's statistics, we have the second roughest schedule, second hardest schedule in the league.
Oh, wow.
But that's last year.
But it'll be fun. We can get it done.
Oh yeah, very excited. Hopefully, I don't know when that Tennessee game is, but if we could get a Cam versus Shador matchup somehow. I know that they've been working out in the offseason, dying to play each other.
Mm-hmm. No, that would be awesome to see. People would go crazy, man. They really would.
Go crazy.
Crazy. All right, any opinion? Any other last things before we go and play video games all night?
Bush Apple back in stores. Get it before it's gone.
God dang it, Coach. I knew that was happening. Thank you guys for joining
truck
us.
Bed. If you got a truck bed, don't be an asshole and get 80 cases of it.
Too late. Hicks did it, bro.
Too late.
You're in Cleveland.
Hicks been doing that.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll be back maybe Sunday or tomorrow with Healthy Life. We'll keep you posted on Facebook. Please like if you enjoyed. Share, subscribe. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. That's where we post whenever we have episodes. So stay tuned to that. Please like for Facebook. We need more Facebook likes so we can start streaming on Facebook too. So that's why a share on Facebook would be nice. Say, hey, drop a like. We like the content.
Send it to grandparents.
Yep, send it to your friends. This is pretty good quality stuff from what I've seen around here, at least UI-wise and what we talk